Hello again, everyone. onlydraven here, and thank you very much for tuning in again this week. This week we're going to talk about a couple different things. We'll do our weekly check-in like we normally do, and then we're also going to talk about vitamins, minerals, and the things that you have to have on after bariatric surgery to make sure you stay healthy. Bariatric surgery changes the way you eat and what you can eat, and so there's a lot of different things that you have to do to make sure you maintain your health. And we're going to talk a little bit about vitamins especially today, and some of the products that I use personally. I've had a lot of questions about those and the supplements I use. So before we get into that, we'll do just the basics. Thank you again, everyone who's been interacting with me on the different websites and Facebook and Reddit and things like that. I've had a bit of a surge here on my YouTube channel. I've got a few new subscribers this past week, more so in the past week than I normally get in a week. So thank you, everyone who's recently joined, and a special thank you also as well to everyone who has been sharing my videos on their Facebook pages and their Instagrams and Twitters and such. I've seen a definite increase in that, and I think that's really helping get the word out. So I appreciate that. If you have someone who has had bariatric surgery or is considering bariatric surgery or just likes to lose weight or healthy or something, please feel free to share my video with them. You can share directly from YouTube on the different links beneath, and I definitely appreciate you spreading word of mouth there and getting it out there. I'm definitely trying to reach as many people as I can. In that same vein, I am still working on my my website. The website is actually mostly done at this point. I converted from the site that I bought my domain name to a site that's going to host. I hit my first Patreon goal a month or so ago, which has allowed me to finally fund and pay someone to host my site. It's real basic right now. I'm just starting with a few things. It's going to have a link to all my videos that I post, and they'll be separated by genre. So if you're looking for these type of videos, they'll be on one page. If you want to see my gameplay videos, they're on another. I'll have different ones up there. I'm also posting my progress photos up there. If you saw my last video, you saw I posted a bunch of pictures I've been taking over the past 6 months as I've been going through this. So I'm going to post a picture every month and add it to that page and just keep on doing that. One picture looking forward and a profile pic as well. And just keep adding to those so you can continue to follow my progress visually. Again, they're not attractive or flattering in any way, but they're honest. And so I figure, the whole reason I'm doing this is to show folks what a positive experience this can be. Holding back won't help anybody. So feel free to go look at my nasty self on those once I get the website up. I should have it posted by the end of this week, which is very exciting. I've always wanted to have my own website. And right now it's very much based a lot around just the bariatric and the YouTube videos, but I hope to add more content on there and branch out into different things, podcasts and stuff. There's going to be an Ask Me section if you have questions or comments or feedback you want to put in there. That way you can go there directly. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I'll announce it on all my different social medias once it's listed. Also put it in the next one of these videos. Hopefully I should have it in the next video as well. But it'll be www.onlydraven.com. So that's my page, that's my domain, I own it. I don't think it's visible yet, but you'll be able to search it from Google and be able to go there, and I'll start putting that in the link of these videos. Probably not this video since it's not quite up yet, but starting with the next one, I'll have that listed as well. So definitely check it out. I'd love to have you check out my page and leave me feedback on that as well, especially anything you think I could do to make it better, more interactive, or stuff you'd like to see. So without further ado then, we're going to go ahead and move into our weekly checkup and see how things went. All right, so in this week's weekly check-in, which is weeks twice in the same sentence, we are going to just kind of cover the basic stuff. Another positive week, although a small week. I lost 2 pounds this week, which is still success. Any loss is great. July 4th was yesterday, 2017, if the case you're watching this video years later. So I stepped out of my diet box a little bit and tried something a little new, a little bit beyond what I normally eat. I have a habit of eating the same things over and over again on the diet. especially when I find things that don't bother me or don't upset my stomach, because I'm finding a few more things that are. Plus, if I'm losing weight, I kind of don't want to mess with the program. I don't want to change things as long as it's working. But I know you have to do that occasionally because your body will adjust to it. But I find I eat a lot of tuna salad, chicken salad. I do chicken tenders and shake and bake, which is totally fine for those of you interested in looking for something that's kind of tasty. Recommend that. So I do a lot of those kind of things. But yesterday being July 4th, I decided that I was going to have a cheeseburger. Now, on phase 3 of the diet that I'm in, this is per my surgeon's office under my nutritionist diet regulations, I was allowed to add ground beef a good month and a half, 2 months ago. But I really hadn't had any. I just kind of stayed away from it. There's not a lot I can think of to cook with it, and I really don't want to get back into eating burgers and things, so I've kind of stayed away from it. With it being July 4th, I decided I'd do a little bit of a cookout for my family, and so I made cheeseburgers, and I cooked some smoked sausage as well, because that's something that I can eat. I did not eat a bun, because again, buns are very high in carbs. Breads are still not in my diet until I hit phase 4, which is the final phase. So there's still no breads for me, so it was just a hamburger patty, which I did get the leanest beef possible, the lowest fat, leanest amount. I put a piece of sharp cheddar cheese on it. I found a light low-fat cheese that I put on there, so the fat content was low. Basically no carbs, but there wasn't much protein either. And then on that I put a little bit of light mayonnaise, because I put mayonnaise on fucking everything at this point, especially since I lost the ability to eat mustard. And I put a little bit of ketchup on there. Ketchup's high in salt, so I don't recommend using a lot of ketchup, but it doesn't really have any fat or protein or really any carbs either. There's a little bit, but nothing that's really going to hurt you bad as long as you keep that in your calculations. But it's high in salt, and calories aren't that good, so I just wanted a little bit of that flavor on there. And I ate my burger, and it was good. I enjoyed it. It's very tasty. I never did get to eat really any of the sausage, because that one hamburger patty filled me up. In fact, it was hard for me to finish it. I probably shouldn't have. That falls back upon my old weaknesses of always cleaning my plate. We heard that for years. Always clean your plate, always finish your food, and that's always been, I guess, part of my issue. Even when I'm full, I never leave food. For me to take something home, leftovers, fucking miracle. I eat everything, and usually leftovers of other people's at the table. But I still get in that mindset where I'm like, oh, I've got more food, I have to finish this. Even though my body's telling me, no, fat ass, I'm done. Stop putting food in me. I still will, and then I get nauseous. And that's kind of what happened to me last night. I finished the whole cheeseburger patty. I probably could have gotten away with just eating 3/4 of it and being plenty full, but I figured I should finish it, and I paid for it a little later, other than just in nausea and just overall not feeling well. So it was a lesson learned, and that's good whether you've had a surgery or not, but especially if you've had bariatric surgery. Listen to your body. When your body says you're getting full, you're probably already there. It's time to stop. You do not have to finish your plate. You do not have to eat. Just because you measure out 3 ounces, because that's what it says you should eat, doesn't mean you have to eat it all. It's saying that's how much you should eat at most. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to finish it all. And I'm still struggling with that mentality, because for my whole life it's always been eat everything in front of me. So lesson learned, that was it. But I still lost 2 pounds, but that cheeseburger was the night before weigh day, so I'm sure that didn't help. I only weigh myself once a week, and that's on Wednesdays, was this morning. So having that burger in my belly probably weighed me down a little bit. Not a whole lot, I mean, it's one freaking patty, but but 2 pounds is still a success, and I'll take it. And I have absolutely no complaints. It was a good experience, even though I felt a little nauseous afterwards. It was very tasty and yummy having it, although I don't think I'll do it very often, just for health and trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So really the next thing I'm going to talk about is going to be vitamins, and that kind of ties in with the diet and everything. So I'm just going to kind of make this all just one long segment this week, all in the check-in. I'm not going to do all the little interruptions in it. Vitamins, once you've had a bariatric surgery, become imperative, and usually something you're going to take the rest of your life. There are a lot of different vitamins and nutrients that you get out of food normally that you just won't get anymore. Especially in my surgery, where again I had the BPD-DS, which is one of the more extensive ones, because my stomach is so small and I'm taking in such small amount of food. Add in that to the fact that they've taken 30 feet of intestinal tract and shortened it down to like 3 to 5 feet. I'm only eating a little bit of food, and it's not in me long enough for it to really absorb a lot of what I'm eating, a lot of the nutrients and vitamins. So I will be on supplements for the rest of my life. And there's a lot out there you can mix and match to get what you need. Definitely speak with your nutritionist. There's going to be different guidelines and recommendations. My doctor's surgeon's office, and again, I go to one here in my local town of Knoxville, Tennessee. I will put their icon right up here. I've mentioned them before. They are great people. I've had nothing but an amazing positive experience with them. If you're in the Knoxville or Tennessee area, or shit, you just don't care to travel, man, reach out to these great, because the surgery I have, the BPD-DS, is not offered in a lot of places. I speak to folks all the time who didn't even know that was an option. It is a bit more extensive. It is definitely permanent, but it also has a higher success rate. It's definitely working for me, and I feel fine majority of the time. There's always a little bit of side effects, but I feel great. So definitely reach out to these folks up here if you're interested, or message me and I can get you their number if you don't see them online, but that's their name and their icon, so they'll be up there. So definitely reach out to them, because I do recommend them heavily. That being said, they also have their own line of vitamins. Dr. Boyce and Dr. Williams are the two surgeons out of that office, and Dr. Williams was my personal surgeon. Awesome dude, highly recommend him, especially. He was just so friendly, and he was so comforting talking to him, and like I really genuinely felt like he was there to help. It wasn't like robotic at all. Like he just really was a really great personality. I got along with him from the first moment we talked, so it was a great experience there. They have their own line of bariatric vitamins, and they're an all-in-one vitamin pretty much, which is awesome. You take quite a few of them. Depending on your surgery, how many you take will be determined by the surgery you have. But I've been taking them since, and I feel good. I don't feel tired or weak, and a lot of the stuff I hear from other folks. Now, I do want to say I'm not being paid to talk about these. I'm not talking to my doctor's office. They don't know that I'm going to do this. If I ever, for some reason, had someone sponsor a video, which would be awesome, but if that ever happened, I will clearly let you folks know. But this is just me talking about things that I have personally tried. And so their brand is called the Life brand. And this is the bottle here. Okay, I just picked this one up today because I'm running low. And like I said, if you're looking for the amount of vitamins on it, I'm just going to give you just a quick. There's a huge ass list of all the different vitamins and nutrients that come in this thing. It's specifically designed for bariatric patients, so you don't have to have a whole bunch of different vitamins to give you that all-in-one. They're a large tablet. Let me get my other bottle here. I've shown these previously, but it's a good sized tablet. And for my surgery, I take 8 of these a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but then I think about how much food I used to put in me that I don't take now. This is a tiny, tiny fraction of what I used to consume daily. So I take 8 of them a day for my surgery. And there's, like I said, it says specifically on here how many you take. For example, non-surgical or pre-surgical patients would be 3 tablets a day. If you had an adjustable gastric band, it's 3 a day. Sleeves is 6 a day. Gastric bypass, 6 a day. Or if you're like me with the BPD, with DS, 8 tablets a day. So I take more for my surgery, again, with it being more extensive and it being more restricting on what I can eat and how much I can eat. It requires me to take more of them. But they don't have a bad taste to them at all. They've got a little bit of this vanilla kind of flavor, which is kind of nice. It's not a bad aftertaste. Doesn't have that rubbery plastic taste. And pretty much anything I drink it with will like overpower it. It's not like a bad flavor combination in any way. So it's really good with like a chocolate protein shake. A little bit of chocolate vanilla in there. So I definitely recommend those. You can get them on the Life website. If it's something you're interested in, they do ship them. I normally order mine through there. With the holiday, I was afraid they wouldn't make it in time, so I just drove to the office on my lunch break. They're only 5 minutes from where I work. But like I said, if it's something you're interested in, you can get a discount if you buy them in large amounts, like 3 months at a time and things like that. You can get on an auto renewal. And I have several friends and colleagues who had surgery through them, different surgeries, bariatric surgeries, and they all use them. And I've spoke to the couple that I know of who tried them and then went off and tried to do their own mixture of different vitamins. Said in the long run, you end up paying a lot more. And you end up with more pills. You got this one for iron, this one for vitamin D. You got a bunch of different combos. So this is kind of an all-in-one, which is nice. So I definitely recommend that. The only other vitamin that I take a probiotic. And again, large amount of vitamin stuff. The probiotic I get through them as well. Again, I'm all about convenience, one-stop shopping. If I can get everything in one place, I would rather do that. I hate having to go to 10 stores. So being able to order these online or pick them up when I'm in there is pretty phenomenal. Like I said, I picked up this one here, a 50 million probiotic. It's, again, also the Bear Light brand. They're specifically designed and made by Dr. Boyce and Dr. Williams, and they're pretty snazzy. Again, no flavor to these. You just take one of these a day. This bottle has 60 pills in it. So, I mean, you're looking at 2 months supply for, I think it's like $30 or something like that. $30, $35. This one's $29.99. And again, depending on how many you have to take based on your surgery, there's 180 tablets in there. So for me, it lasts me usually 20 to 22 days. So, you know, there's a cost that comes with bariatric surgery. I save a lot of money on food and groceries, assuming I'm not making a cooking video, because then I buy only high quality ingredients. But if, you know, I replace some of that food cost with vitamin cost. And this is going to be, again, it's permanent. I'm going to be taking these vitamins the rest of my life. I have my 4-month checkup in just a few weeks, and they'll do some lab work and make sure that my vitamin levels are in good shape. If not, I may have to add something temporarily, you know, keep an eye on it. It's definitely something you have to keep an eye on, work with your nutritionist, get checked regularly, follow what they recommend. You know, and like I said, if they say, hey, go out and find yourself a good multivitamin, I recommend the ones that I show you, the Bear Life. Like I said, you can order them online. They're affordable, and like I said, shipping's low. They'll get them right to you in just a few days. So they're handy. I like them. I can just count up my 8 pills a day. What I do is I grab one of these little Tupperware thingies, Rubbermaid, whatever, from Walmart, and in the morning I just take all the pills I have to take for the day and I put it in here. I know a lot of people like to get those containers where it has 1 a day, and I'll be honest, that's just way more work than I want to put into it. Just not into that. And then plus then most people throw away the bottles, they forget what they have. I like this little thing. It's great for me to take to work. I take all my pills that I have to take for the day and I put them in here. As long as it's empty by the end of the day, I know that I did everything I was supposed to. I took all my vitamins and my blood pressure pills. I have other pills and stuff I take as well. But so it's a handy way. It's how I do it. It's how I regulate it, make sure I take everything. I usually pack them the night before, throw them in my lunch bags. I pre-make my lunch because I'm just organized like that. And the next morning, I can just grab my lunch bag and I go. And I know when I get to work, I've got a protein shakes, and I've got my vitamins, and I got my medication, and they're all ready to go. And I take them spaced out throughout the day. It's 8 pills, so I don't take them all at once. Try to space them out throughout the day. But vitamins are important. It's important to follow the guidelines your nutritionist set out for you and your doctor sets out for you. You know, they know more about how my body works than I do in many ways. So I've done my very best to follow their guidelines to the letter as they've been giving it to me. And I found the vitamins that I take are convenient. Of course, if you want to try other vitamins and such, definitely do that. I'm not trying to sell you this. I'm telling you what works for me. You do what works for you. You know, your doctor's office may offer something equivalent. They may have something else, or they may have specific requirements they want you to take. From talking to folks, I've seen that a lot of people have different requirements based on their doctors and their nutritionists. So I guess everybody's kind of different there. It's like that second opinion mentality. One doctor will tell you one thing, another doctor will tell you something completely different, even though you're the same person when you walk into both offices. So this is just what works for me, and that's all I can really share with you, what I've been doing. And I'm seeing incredibly positive results. I feel good. I'm losing weight. That puts me down 136 pounds so far in, 6 months? A little over 6 months, 6 months and a week at this point. You know, that's a hell of a lot of weight. That's a person. That's more than my wife weighs. I have physically removed the equivalent of my wife from my body. That's crazy to think about that, you know? For years, I walked around with that. If I had to walk around carrying my wife all the time, she's little, but that would still get very tiring and exhausting. No wonder I felt like shit all the time. It's because I was carrying extra people. I have another small person, like maybe a small teenager or adolescent, and in me that I still need to get rid of, and that I'm working on. You know, I can't imagine how good I'm going to feel when that's gone. So following the guidelines and following the rules will help me get to that as quickly as possible. So I can't stress enough, do what you're told. You know, there's going to be enough leeway in there to find things you like and to eliminate things you don't like, but try to stay within the guidelines as much as you can. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sum the video up for this week. Again, thank you everyone who's been following me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. A lot of activity on Instagram lately. Thank you also everyone who's been my patrons, everybody on my Patreon page. I've seen a little bit uptick there again in the last couple weeks, and so I'm well on my way to my second goal, which is to upgrade some camera equipment, as well as add a podcast is kind of the reward for hitting that. I'm going to add a monthly podcast. I'm probably going to do one either way, but that might let me add two. So definitely feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link to that's right here. What's not a link? That's the Patreon symbol. You know, the link is in the description of this video. But please, as I said, feel free to check out any of those. Keep an eye out for my website. I'll be announcing that all over the place as soon as I get it up and going. And I'd love to get your feedback on it as well. Okay? So thank you, everyone, for tuning in this week. I really appreciate you checking in every week and keeping up with me. And especially to you folks who've been sharing your progress with me as well. I'm getting a lot of that. Hey, my surgery is on this date. Hey, I'm down this much in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I love hearing that. I love seeing other people do well and other people succeeding. Please give me your feedback. Show me, your results. I want to hear that. Definitely, that's phenomenal. I'm trying to share mine with you, so inspires folks to try to go through it. And if it does so, all the better. So, thank you so much for everyone who's been talking with me and chatting with me, and all of you who tune in every week. So, thank you so much. I hope you have a great week.